Next tonight, she is acting once again for the first time in almost a decade. And Gwyneth Paltrow's performance in Marty Supreme, it's already generating Oscar buzz. So what made her decide to come back? And what's next? We had the chance to sit down with her. But first, here's a sneak peek at Paltrow in Marty Supreme.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to make an apple appear in that bowl. And if I do, you're going to blow off your little rendezvous.
No.
Watch me play.
I'm not agreeing to anything.
All right, we don't have to agree to anything. I'm going to do it anyway, okay? 1, 2, 3. I'll leave a ticket for you at the box office.
And we are so grateful to be joined tonight by Gwyneth Paltrow. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about Kay Stone. She is a very glamorous, retired Hollywood actress. How much a departure is playing her from the very glamorous, now return to acting actress of Gwyneth Paltrow?
I think Kay and I have a few similarities. I think that's what intrigued Josh Safdie about me playing this part, was that kind of meta aspect of me being semi-retired as an actor, focusing on Goop, my business. And I think they're similar in feel. Kay is, you know, I think she's had a lot of pain in her life. She's lost her son in the war. She's in a loveless marriage. And I think Timothy's character really reignites something in her. I think for myself, you know, I was experiencing an empty nest and kind of big existential questions about my life, and thought, yeah, sure, let me go back and see what this feels like.
So what was that first scene like that you taped very deliberately? The director decided you're going to have, it's going to be a meta moment. Speaking of, it's your first return back to filmmaking. It's also Kay Stone's first return to the stage. Was that kind of art imitating life?
It was for me. I don't know if they, by design, they had my first day be that day where I was back, kind of first day on stage rehearsing a play and trying to figure out the blocking. But it was very fortuitous for me because I come from the theater. So to have those two things combined and have that first moment be, okay, I'm in a theater, you know, it's just very grounding, and I felt very lucky that that was my entree back into it.
And also very lucky that your leading co-star, Timothée Chalamet, right? Of that you said, okay, great, I'm 109, you're 14. What was it like working with him?
It was great. He's a very dedicated actor. He is very, very talented, you know, and just really committed. You know, I always get very inspired when I see someone with that level of commitment.
You pressed the pause button on show business for 7 years. Was it like riding a bike? You've said that you were nervous to return.
I was nervous to return because acting is so, it's quite difficult to define how one does it. And so I was like, what if I've lost that weird thing that I do and that I can't even explain how I do it? Luckily, it all came rushing back.
Do you think that now that you've kind of returned and put your toe back into acting, is there a balance, or you'll go on pause again, hiatus again?
I think, transparently, I'm not sure. I don't know exactly. The possibilities are there, and I'll have to just be intentional and see what happens.
And there was a time early on in your career that you've talked about where you've just likened it to being on a train, and you were constantly going from one project to the next.
Yeah.
Are you a lot more intentional now?
Yeah, that I will not do again. You know, I think in my 20s I really felt I just have to say yes to everything, and I'll never get another job. And, you know, I just looked at everything very differently.
You have said before that when you were 19 and you auditioned for a Woody Allen movie and you didn't get it, that your mom gave you some advice, which was just, you know, if you don't get it, it's not your role.
That's right.
Did that help with lifelong perspective?
It did. It completely freed me up, because I think we're all raised with this, within this scarcity model, especially within women, to be competitive. If one woman gets something, that means you didn't get it. I've carried that with me, you know, throughout my business career, throughout my acting career, and it's served me very well.
And your mom, as you mentioned, who's a very famed actress in her own right, she did her best to tell you not to become an actress. What made you decide you were going to ignore that?
Well, you know, I think when you grow up and you watch your mother, your hero on stage, seeing somebody that you look up to so empowered and kind of in the most realized version of themselves, it's just absolutely intoxicating. So for me, there was no other career choice ever when I was growing up.
Is there a role out there that you'd say, of course I would take that?
I mean, not off the top of my head. I think there are things that I still want to do, like we spoke about. I've never done a play on Broadway, for example. I've done them lots of other places, so that might be really interesting.
And lastly, for people who haven't seen the movie yet, aside from, oh, it's about a ping pong player, he's really driven, how would you describe it?
I think it's a big kind of breathless opus, exploring complicated and passionate characters and their sort of arc from amorality to morality.
That is a really good way to say a breathless opus. Gwyneth Paltrow, thank you so much for the time and conversation. Really appreciate it.
And you can see Gwyneth Paltrow alongside Timothée Chalamet in Marty Supreme in theaters nationwide Christmas Day.